a big mouth, you know, a know-it-all.
Don't listen to him, he's an ink-and poop.
The guy is a radio genius, but he's got a hell of a lot to learn.
Right, hi everyone, it's Chris 2E0UKH, and this is my in-depth programming guide to the YAESU FT70 and YAESU controls. Now, this radio is a very easy to use radio, probably the easiest to program radio I've ever had, because it's a simple, it's an entry level, although it is packed with loads of features. So, basic controls of this radio, you've got VFO and memory there, that's a channel, PI, that's GB3 PI. And if you go to VFO mode, you can search away from there by pressing function and 2, which says scan on it. If you press TX, that will stop it searching. Or if you're in memory mode, function and 2 will scan the channels. Now when you're in VFO mode or on a channel, you can change the mode. That's on FM. That's on FM. And you can change the mode pressing the mode, obviously. So you can go through digital back to FM. I've turned wide off. Wide is a high quality mode, but I found some people, I can't hear them or they can't hear me. So time being, I've turned that off. Now, on a YAESU like this, like the old ones, if you long press the function, you get access to, on this radio, 63 menu items. That's item 48. So it says the number there, and you can flip round and choose loads of different options from there. A bit like the old YAESUs. A bit reminiscent of them. Now, before we start programming it for repeaters and things, there's a very handy programmable P1 on the 7 key and a P2 on the 8 key. And when programming repeaters on this radio, you've got all the controls on the front, but if I add one more on there, on number 8, it will have all the repeater stuff on the front and make it very easy to program repeaters on the fly. So how you do that is you take it to the menu item you want. So I'm going to put it on repeater frequency. That's where you enter the offset, like 7.6 megahertz. You can program these two keys to anything, but in this example I'm going to program it here because I'll be putting some repeaters in a minute. So 46. To assign that to P2 on the 8 button, I'm just going to hold it, long press the 8 button, and it now says P2 key. So if I was actually in operation in VFO mode and I wanted to alter the repeater offset frequency, I could go function and 8, which is the P2, and then from there I could change the repeater offset. So that will come in handy in a minute. Now all the repeater controls for the radio are on the front, like I said. So if you press function now, if I press function and 8, which is P2, I can change this offset. I can change the direction of the repeater, whether it's plus or minus, using function and 0. Function and 0, and I can choose a simplex frequency for simplex channels or a hotspot. I can move the clicker around and I can go repeater minus or plus. So in an example, let's just put in a repeater nearby. So I'm going to type it in 1456625. and at the top you can see the repeater direction, and on 2 meters it's always -600. But if it wasn't, you know, it's done that automatic, but if it wasn't, you could go function and 8 in my case and alter the repeater frequency. If you haven't done this, you'd have to go to menu item 46 to alter that. You take it to menu item 46. To change the offset, you go function and 0. That's repeater minus. On UHF it might be plus. And to alter the tone, first of all you need to select the squelch type, so it's on the 5 key. So you go function and 5. Let's do it again. Function and 5, and you've got different types of tones, so you can have tone squelch, DCS, they're all in here. So I want tone, so I've chosen tone with function and 5, and on the 6 key you can change the code, so function 6, I can change the code. So I've got the right code now. If I come out of the programming, it's now ready to open the repeater. Now, to put that repeater into a memory, you'd use this button on the VFO and memory, a long press of that. So let's just look at my memories and see where we can put it. So the channel number is in the top left, that's 11. So what's my highest one? So my highest one is 28. So I'm going to position it on the highest one so that it goes on the one above. And I'll go back into VFO mode, and like I said, long press of VFO memory, the one to the right of 6, will begin the process to save the channel. So from VFO, you've checked you can open the repeater, long press of that, and it's saying, do you want to put it in 29? So I'll press it again to say yes, and I can give it a name. So this is called CO. So using the clicker on the top, C, then you press the band button to move it across, CO, you can call it GB3CO, but I'm just trying to be quick. And then I'm going to press the VFO memory button again to say I'm finished. And I think I long press, is it a long press? Yeah, I've long pressed it. And then when I go back to the memory channels, CO has gone into 29. So that's putting a repeater in. There's various parameters you can change. You can change the mode for that channel. You can change the power with function and 1. And those settings will be saved in that channel. So you can keep altering them. If you're nearby, you might want to drop your power. If you're out far away, you can increase it. So to put in a simplex frequency, like let's say we'll put in the C4FM UHF call-in frequency. So we're going to put it in number 30, the one above this one. So I'll go back to VFO mode. You can just type it in, or you can press the band button to go through the different bands. So we're in VHF. There's the 220 band. So I'm in UHF. I'm going to just type in the frequency. You can just type in the frequency, or you can press function and go up 1 megahertz at a time. So it's actually 438 600, the frequency I want, 6125. So 438 6125, but notice it's in 25 kilohertz steps. So you can go function and 4, that brings up the step option. So I'll drop it down to 12.5 kcs, and you press function again, it comes out of the menu. So 438 6125, I'm going to get rid of that offset now because it's not a repeater, and we do that with function and 0. So I'll make it simplex, press function to come out, and it doesn't matter about the tone squelch. I'll leave that there because I'm going to change the mode to DN, which is digital, that's C4 FM, and I can program that in as a channel now as UHF callin. I won't give it the full name, but I'm trying to do it quickly. So long press of the VW button, and it's saying, do you want to put it in number 30? I'll press yes. I'll click that VM button again. It wants a name, so I'll just call it UHF call. So line the letter up, press band, UHF, so I've called it UHF call, and I'll long press the VFO memory button, and that's now gone in 30 with the right digital mode. Put it on high power, function 1. So that's how you put simplex channels in and how you put repeaters in. In this part of the video we're going to explore the YAESU capability, and I'm on a memory channel. I've programmed in this repeater KE, and you could have it in a VFO. It still works the same. If you're on a hotspot, it'd be a simplex frequency in digital. So get it on the channel of a repeater that has fusion, YAESU on it, or your hotspot. It's just the same. And to activate the YAESU, it's function and AMS. And it's connected to the repeater GB7KE, and it lands you on this screen. This is LC. Look in the top left, LC, and that's the node ID screen. If I click it round to the right, CN, that's the room you're connecting to or connected to. So I'm not connected. The next one round is CO. That's the most recent node you are on. C1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are presets to save rooms and put them there. And the last one is the direct entry. You enter the DTMF for the room you want to go to. So I'm going to go to one which is not super busy, Alabama link 28933. So I'm going to type it in, 28933, and press AMS. And I'm now connected to that one, the Alabama link. and notice it's landed me in the CN, which is what I'm connected to, which is Alabama. If I click round here, I'm still connected, but it shows these different screens. Now, if I had it on there and I keyed up on the CN connected, I could talk to people on there and use it. If I want to save that room to one of the 5 presets, I would go to either C1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and I just long press it. So I'll go to C1, I'll put it in there. So press and hold the number 1 to put it in there. I think I have to do it from the connected room. So I'm in there, I'm connected to that. Long press 1. Let's see if it's gone in. So yeah, C1 is now Alabama link. So I could speak on there and you can keep changing rooms, type in other DTMFs, go to rooms and store them in 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now to disconnect from that room, I'm going to go to the connected one. Oh, that's what I'm connected to. To disconnect from that room, you press and hold the band button. Sorry, you press and hold the band button. So it says disconnect. So I've pressed and hold the band. Now because I've put that in as a memory on C1, I can recall that memory by going to C1. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'll go to C1 and if I press AMS it should go to that memory that I've created. So I'm now connected to that. I'll just see if it works actually. See if there's anyone on.
T4 Golf Yankee Papa, please copy Kilo 8 X-ray Golf.
Someone calling, but somebody else.
Fine, the modulation's fine, and I did not hear any breakup.
So there's someone on the Alabama link. I won't disturb them. I just wanted some audio.
I appreciate you coming back, Tim, on that one. My channels and all set correctly. So much, I will clear with you. This is Whiskey.
So I just wanted to check it was working. So you can say I'm connected. That's great. Now, in the gap, I'm going to long press the band button. I've long pressed the band button and it should say disconnect. Sometimes these commands don't go through straight away. You have to do them again. So if it doesn't work, try it again. So I'm now disconnected from there, because that's the connected room and it's now connected to nothing. And to remove that preset I've put in there on C1, I can position it on the number and you press and hold the HMRV, the home and reverse button below mode. So I'm going to long press, is it long press? Yeah, long press that and this should go blank. So that's disappeared. So that's showing you how to enter a room, connect to it, save it as a preset, you keep repeating that, add in presets, and how to disconnect with the band button, and delete your presets so you can put, change them. So something else I discovered, you can actually speak to people locally on a Fusion repeater, people that are in range of the repeater, even though it's not connected to a room. And I had trouble doing this to start with. I was messing about and I was experimenting with Rob, the repeater keeper of this repeater KE. So I've just come out of YAESU mode. So I'm just in memory channel KE. It might be on a VFO, but I'm on the repeater frequency in digital. So I'll connect to the repeater with function and AMS. And hopefully I'm not connected to anything. And I'm pressing transmit, and I discovered that these lights that mean you're transmitting, then I'm not transmitting. I can't speak to anyone locally, and I couldn't work this out. And what you've got to do is, I'm going to come out of it by long pressing the mode. There's KE. So I'll go away from it, go to PE, Peterborough, and I'll come back to KE. And now if I key up, I can speak to people locally, but knowing that the room is not connected to anything. 2E0 UKH, just seeing if anyone's local on the repeater KE. So that's all the useful programming stuff. I've made some notes here. I'm just going to show you some rooms to get you started. I've got 21080 America link, that's the busiest one. 27793 is CQ UK room. 21493 is MNW Fusion Northwest. 40678 CQ Canada. 21636 Texas Nexus. 28933 Alabama link. And 04201 is Australia YSF 001, which is linked to CQ UK also. And these are the different screens that I was describing once you're connected to the YAESU on a repeater or a hotspot. It's just the same. But I have found when connected to your hotspot, it's a bit hit and miss. Entering the codes sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work. And I have discovered it's far easier just to go to your hotspot. I'm looking at my Pi-Star on the PC, and I'll try. This mount doesn't point at the computer, at the screen very well, because it's just awkward. So I'm just bending the mount up. It's a bit jerky, and I'm going to minimise the screen so it's small. So this is my YSF hotspot dashboard, and if I go to configure, I can drag it down to the screen for YAESU System Fusion. I'll just see if I can zoom in on the camera. So we are talking about this part here where it says I'm connected to the Parrot. So when using a hotspot, I find it far easier just to say go to choose a different room, choose the room and click apply. But it does have the capability, and I have had it working, but like I said, it's a bit hit and miss. So cracking radio, easy to use, and that's everything you need to know about programming repeaters, simplex channels, and accessing the YAESU facility, entering a room, storing a room, deleting the room, and disconnecting. Right, 732E0UKH.